also wonder what's the difference between a product manager and a business analyst? Are they same roles? Are they similar roles? Or are they different altogether? Let's take a look at each of these roles in today's video. So I'm going to explain that with an example. Let's Swiggy as an example. For those who do not know, Swiggy is a food ordering and a delivery app. Besides that, it also provides other services. There's one that's called Instamart, which is for grocery delivery. Second, it's called Genie, which is effectively same day package delivery from one place to the other. There's also something called as Dine Out. So on the application on your mobile, these are the main products that you see from Swiggy. Now in this company, there would be at least product manager. Why do I say that? Because for each of these products, which is food ordering and delivery, grocery delivery, the Dine Out, I mentioned 4 there would be at least 4 product managers, because the user experience for each of these products is very different. That is why at least 4 product managers are going to be there. Obviously there are going to be more. At least 1 product manager per product would definitely exist. Product managers for each of these products, they would be very user focused. I'm going to repeat that. They're going to be very user focused, which means their main task is to understand who the users of these products are, what are the problems that they are facing, what are the alternate products or services that they are consuming, what's the opportunity that lies, how can I as a product manager solve that particular problem. So product manager role is very user centric. All they do is think about a user, and every decision that they take is going to keep user at the center. Now to explain that a little better, now for example, for the food ordering and delivery service, the users of those are people like you and me who have smartphones, who have access to internet, who do not want to go out, want to have the food at the luxuries of their home because of any number of reasons, right? These are the users of the product. The users of the product are also the restaurant owners, the vendors who have put up their listing on the application, so that people like you and me are browsing through it, and we are looking for restaurants, looking for different cuisines, and we are ordering food so that can be delivered at my doorstep. On the other hand, the users of the product called Dine Out, it is a feature within the Swiggy application, which is effectively for the users who want to go outside. They do not want to have food at their home. They want to go outside. They want to browse what are the restaurants which are open based on the cuisine, based on their own tastes. Maybe they like open roof restaurants, or maybe they like restaurants which have a live music. So basically, based on all the different user tastes, the application is going to list the different restaurants which are open at what time. That is how the user experience of this particular product is going to look like. That caters to the needs of these specific users, which is obviously very different from the users of the food ordering and delivery application. Now if we look at the competitors of the food ordering and delivery application are the likes of Zomato, right? Uber, these are the competitors. Whereas the competitors for the Instamart, Swiggy Instamart, the competitors are going to be like Big Basket, right? Or I don't know if Big Basket has an instant service, but likes of Zepto. So these are all the products who are going to be the competitors for them. What I'm trying to say here is all these different features, or these are actually different products which exist within one application. Even though you as a user, you are downloading Swiggy on your phone, there are different tabs for each, and all of these are very different products, because the user, even though the user is same, like for example, obviously I am using Swiggy to order food, but I am also using it to purchase groceries instantly, which means I'm using Instamart. In some cases, I have also used the Dine Out features. In some cases, I have also used the Swiggy Genie. The overall user is the same. The user behavior and needs are very, very different. And that is why there is a need for product manager for each of these, because of the different type of users which exist, the different type of user experience which needs to be provided based on the problems that are being solved on the particular application. In short, this role is very, very user centric. As I said, like every decision that they make, starting from inception until post launch, it's going to be user centric. They have to keep the users in mind before making any damn decision in the whole product development life cycle. Now I have done a detailed video explaining what a product manager does on a daily basis, on a bi-weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis. I'm going to link that above. It's a very helpful resource. I really recommend you checking that out if you are really interested to know what exactly does a product manager. Now moving on to business analyst, or BA, like Ronim is BA obviously. Business analyst is more focused on business as opposed to being users. Like they are there in our example, the focus of a BA would be on Swiggy as a whole, as a company, as a business, as opposed to individual users of each of these product lines. Now they would research, the business analyst would research about how Swiggy as a business altogether is doing. Like obviously they are in the food delivery space. How are they doing as a whole in this market that they are into? What problem is the user solving, and for whom? Like, yes, it's like very high level, users like you and me. What problems are we facing and what problems is Swiggy providing for those users in the market that they are competing in? What opportunities exist in the market that Swiggy should definitely adopt, because same set of users that Swiggy is behind are also using these alternate solutions, and this is possible an opportunity for us to also get into. They would research about all of these as well. What are the current revenue models? How is Swiggy currently making business out of? Like, how are they making money out of providing this? Obviously, it's free for you and me to use Swiggy. We are only paying for the food that we are ordering, but I'm making, like, Swiggy as a company is making money out of it. So business analyst needs to know about all of that as well. So Swiggy, it currently earns from the commissions from these restaurant owners who have these listing on the website. They earn from delivery charges that you see on Swiggy. Yes, those are put up by Swiggy. Those are not by the restaurant owners. There are also ads on that. There are, several other smaller revenue streams that they have. You see those offers come up and all of that. So there are several other methods to earn money, but these are like very higher level. Now, in addition to this research that the business analyst is doing on Swiggy as a whole, as a business unit, they are also researching about the budgeting, like how much budget is allocated for a certain aspect. So they ideally know how much budget is allocated and in how much budget do we need to make a product or deliver a particular service to the end customer. Because we say a product needs to be developed, it doesn't necessarily mean like engineers have to do something to provide that user experience. It could mean that we can provide a service by non-development methods as well. So business analysts, if they have an overview of the entire budget of the company as a whole, would ideally be able to make all those decisions as well. Business analysts, alongside that, they are also looking at the data trends. What that means is that they're not only looking at the competitive landscape, but they're also looking at the past and the present data of the user behavior. Like, how have these users behaved in the past? Like Swiggy, whoever they are interacting with, how have they behaved in the past? How are they behaving in the present? Where is the opportunity for growth for us? So we basically have to be very good at these data analytics skills as a business unit altogether to be able to make sense and make those informed decisions, inform the executives about that. They are basically able to, using this skill, they are able to provide the forecast of the future, from that to the executives, so that they can make decisions on how can Swiggy as a business unit earn money in the future based on all the historical data that we've been seeing. Now that I mentioned stakeholders, so it's not just the internal stakeholders, they're also dealing with the external stakeholders. By external stakeholders, I mean, in the same example of Swiggy, what that means is, users like you and me who are ordering food, we are the stakeholders, we are the users of the product. They are also these restaurant owners who have put up their listing. That is a stakeholder. There are also advertisers who are advertising on the application. They are also stakeholders. Instamart, all those small local shops whom are providing all these materials and goods to the end user like you and me, so they are also the stakeholder. There are delivery partners because they are also doing instant delivery. So those delivery partners are stakeholders. So everyone who's involved in this whole ecosystem is a stakeholder that a BA would consider for themselves. And since BA's one of the main responsibilities is stakeholder management, they need to make sure what is it that all these stakeholders are expecting out of the company Swiggy, and need to make sure there are products and services available to fulfill the demands of all of these. That's why BA role is very critical. I also mentioned internal stakeholders. What that means is not only the executive teams who they are reporting all their data analysis to, it also includes the product development team, the engineers, the designers, the scrum masters, whatnot. All the teams who are working on building the product, they are also the stakeholders or the business analyst. They work very closely with product manager actually to make sure that the product gets built the way that the product manager has envisioned. So product manager obviously is just focused on their own product and they understand that in and out. Business analysts understand about business altogether and the entire ecosystem. It's very important that both the individuals work together, make sure that end users and the customers' needs are being met. Since they have a lot of information about the entire ecosystem, they do have a say in what gets prioritized. In fact, a lot of that, how the product should get built, PA is able to contribute to those decisions because they have a lot of information about business altogether, about the users, and they've done their own level of research. So it's definitely, business analyst definitely does have a say in what gets prioritized and how the product should be built. And it's like business analysts are not assigned to one product. Like they should work with multiple product teams within the organization. Now I'm not saying there's one BA for 10 products. There could obviously be multiple BAs, but the role of a business analyst is for the entire business as opposed to a product manager who's currently focused on their own product line. Now in some cases, I mentioned the term customers. So in some cases, the users of the product are different from the customers of the product. It is mostly true in the B2B space when the products and services are being built for companies. In that case, the person, like obviously the higher approval or person who's going to give you the money is the executive, like they're going to sign and pay the checks and all of that. The actually that software or product which is getting purchased is being used by maybe data analyst in their company or an IT professional in their company. In that case, the user becomes the data analyst or IT professional, whereas the customer becomes the executive or the company altogether. So product managers, they are most focused on the users, like how is that data analyst or a IT professional going to use the product? How do I make sure that they're able to use it most effectively? Whereas a business analyst is concerned about the customer as a whole, and whether, at a business to business level, are they able to meet the needs of the customers. So last point here is that BAs, they do have a say in a lot of internal processes as well. So their end goal is to make sure that the business requirements are being met with, the customer is happy. So which means that based on the research they have done, they are able to identify the loopholes in the current processes, and they are able to make recommendations to be able to improve them. So whatever processes, as an example, the engineering team is following, maybe they are not appropriate and they are not leading to quick release of the features, just as an example. That is something that the BA can recommend, maybe we change this approach and we change this process, and it's going to result in quick release of the features and quick feedback gathering. So that is something that BA is quite equipped with. So the internal processes are in place, the documentation as a part of the whole process is in place. BAs do have an expertise in that as well. Now all that I have said till now for a BA, they will only be able to achieve all of that if they are really good with data. If they are really good with data analysis, everything else just trickles down. If they understand the target market, if they understand the customers, understand the users and everything, and they are able to analyze the trends and put forecasts in front of executives, not just the executives, they're going to be able to make recommendations to improve the overall process altogether for building out the products or for solving the customer's pain point, and which eventually will obviously result in making business or making money for the company as a whole. So their data analytics skills are a must. Business analysts should be really good at data. They should be able to understand that data really well to be able to make informed decisions, and hence be able to suggest other stakeholders within the organization to be able to make improvements based on what they have observed. Now, just to sum it up, in my opinion, both these roles are really important for a company's success, because I think both these roles are really assets to the team, because they are valuable assets to the team. Hope that has clarified some confusion that you had until now. If not, do let me know via comments on what your experience has been with the product manager or with BA. And before going, I've provided a PDF which is linked below, which you can download. It basically lists whatever I just said, and what are the basic differences between a product manager and a business analyst. You can keep handy, because a lot of times we do forget. Like I usually have a lot of paper placed on my study table, because I need to refer, because I might have forgotten a video that I heard 6 months back. So I think it's going to be really helpful if you do want to keep that handy. If there's nothing else, see you all next week. Bye bye.